Dumb Ways to Die, the game that hid immense gore behind cartoony graphics so that our parents wouldn't get mad and take our phone privileges away. One of the most beloved mobile games of the early 2010s, this game features an extensive list of different silly ways to lose your life. As children, this was our way of entertaining ourselves. I mean, you had the countless stickman animations on the internet where people would just randomly die, shoot other people, or do some sick anime kung fu that we would attempt to try for 5 minutes after watching it. But anyway, I'm getting off the point. I'm an adult now and I want to go back to this game and see just how many of these dumb ways to die would actually kill you. So yeah, we're gonna be sorting each death into one of the 3 categories. The first category is definite death, a death that literally shows the character dying or wounds fatal enough that the character would be dead 3 seconds after the cutscene ends. The second is potential survival, a scenario where, depending on the context, the situation, and the injury itself, the character might have survived. And the third is not fatal, an injury that, although really unpleasant and painful, wouldn't actually kill anyone. So let's get into it, cause clearly we've got a lot to cover. The bean here is set on fire, and as the fire keeps on growing, it eventually engulfs him. So definite death. The bean gets bitten in half by a bear. Again, definite death. Here, the bean takes expired medicine, which, strictly speaking, in most cases isn't really deadly. He only takes 1 pill as well, and from this, we can assume that what his skin grows out isn't something lethal. It's most likely warts of some sort or swelling, but this wouldn't kill him instantly. Considering he also has a prescription for this medication means he knows the side effects from it, and as such, we can assume that if he called the hospital, or better yet had a different medication to cure such a reaction, he would be fine. So, not fatal. Swimming in piranha-infested waters, of course, a classic dumb way to die. However, there's only a few piranhas in sight, and only one actually ends up biting him. Of course, half his body becomes missing from one bite, but that's pure cartoon logic. In real life, chances are you'd get a few chunks taken out of you, assuming that the piranhas are really hungry and don't have a stable food source in their area. However, we don't know where the bean is. Is he far away or nearby the shore? Is he stranded? He might bleed out from the bites if he doesn't receive help in time. So because of that, I'm gonna leave this one down to potential survival. Next up, putting a fork in an active toaster. Classic mistake. So this is where it gets technical because it depends on a lot of variables. Taking the bean's case here, the creators of Dumb Ways to Die are Australian, so let's assume that this takes place there too. There, they use a 230 volt alternating current supply for their household. Now, this poses a higher fatality rate for such an incident. As well as that, the fork is made out of just metal, so it conducts electricity into the body much better than if it had a handle made out of a non-conductive material. So, for the benefit of the doubt, I'll leave it as potential survival, but the chances of a fatality in such a case is quite high. Here, an electrical wiring error causes a house fire. Again, the bean gets engulfed in flames, so definite death. A simple plane crash in a crop duster, yet the bean lands right on his head, getting decapitated. Now, irrespective of if the decapitation would happen in real life, the impact of a plane crash being directly onto anyone's head would instantly kill them. So, definite death. Food poisoning. Now, most of us have probably gone through an episode of that at some point in our lives. And although it's quite discomforting and stressful, it's usually never deadly. Plus, the official Dumb Ways to Die song describes him eating a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie, and the pie itself doesn't contain meat, just vegetables, as can be seen from the minigame. So yeah, Would it cause the bean to suffer? Absolutely. Vomiting, dehydration, stomach cramps would make his life miserable for a bit, but with proper healthcare, he'd be fine. So, not fatal. Being face to face with a psycho serial killer, not much to say here, but good luck to the bean. Definite death. Now this is an interesting one because we can establish immediately that the bean which is being assaulted is involved in some sort of organized crime kidnapping. The actual impact of the baseball bat is aimed somewhere at his abdomen, which could harm some of his internal organs that aren't protected by his ribcage. Now, the force that the attacker swings the bat doesn't seem to be strong. However, this isn't the case. We can see that it takes 3 frames, so 3/30ths of a second, for the bat to connect with the bean in the bag. By using basic physics, this would generate a force of about 560 pounds. And this is lethal, and considering it's aimed at the abdomen, it's likely to cause liver rupture, broken ribs, and kidney or stomach injury. Again, in this context, the dude is kidnapped and trapped in a plastic trash bag, so he has a limited air supply, is unable to seek medical help immediately, and can't contact anyone to seek help for him, which is shown to be needed as he's externally bleeding from his head as well after he falls down, meaning that he has different and multiple injuries, not just the baseball bat one inflicted on him during that moment. So, due to the assortment of injuries, I'll have to label this as a definite death. No helmet in outer space. Definite death, I think that's self-explanatory. Being trapped in a washing machine. Now, as joked about as it is it fatal? Well, here it looks like a dry wash first of all, so there's no water inside. This eliminates the risk of drowning, which is a huge risk in such a case. The other risk is the blunt trauma of being spun around at a fast rotating speed. Now, the washing machine is spinning at a rate of 112 revolutions per minute roughly, as shown by one revolution taking 16/30ths of a second. Now with that, we can see that the washing machine is spinning very, very slowly, so the danger is lessened. It might cause minor bone fractures and bruising, but if the bean is lucky and he doesn't suffer any serious head or neck trauma, he'd survive just fine. So I'll put this one as potential survival. A snake bite to the eye. Now this depends on one thing and one thing only, if the snake is venomous or not. Now I'm not a snake expert, so I don't know, but going based off of the fact that Australia has more venomous snakes than non-venomous, let's take the hypothetical that it's a venomous one. In that case, this is a definite death, because being bitten in the eye, a place that's 1, close to the brain, so the venom transfers faster, and 2, is soft, so the venom is much more easily absorbed into the bloodstream, means that the chance of survival is next to none. So, definite death. Open wounds near the side of the body. They're bleeding at a pretty fast rate and are close to some vital organs. However, the cuts don't look that deep, at least not deep enough to impact major organs. With immediate healthcare, the bean should survive. However, the blood loss might be what kills him first. I'll mark this one as potential survival, assuming he can act fast. She falls into a puddle of superglue because, of course, video game logic. This one is not fatal as her airways aren't blocked or shut by the glue, and over time the glue will harden, allowing her to escape, albeit by probably having to rip her skin off. Unpleasant, but not lethal. Multiple bullet wounds to the chest section by a sniper rifle. Considering the caliber of the bullet and the location of the wounds, I'm gonna have to label this one as definite death, since there's probably no healthcare nearby to act immediately. Being swarmed by a wasp's nest. The bean is there, unconscious, with wasps all over him. Yet he doesn't seem to have any allergic reactions, but he's unresponsive. And there seems to be about 100 wasps, so it's not that many in comparison to the standard size of nests. That being said, there's a lot of variables to this, and because of that, I'll put this as potential survival. If the bean wakes up, he can run away and likely survive, as the wasp quantity isn't enough to kill him from the poison alone. And again, no visual signs of swelling show that he hasn't been stung somewhere vital or vulnerable, so he's physically still functioning. However, if he stays unconscious, he's next to the nest, so chances are the wasps will keep on stinging him, eventually causing him to die via poison or physical injury. Being run over by a train, definite death. Being hit by a full-speed train while in a car, definite death. Being hit by a full-speed train while not in a car, definite death. Falling between the gap of a train station and a stopped train, it's clear that people already noticed and the train won't move until the bean is helped and unstuck from the place that they fell. Not fatal. Being set on fire, falling from the 3rd floor of an apartment building, face first mind you, and then having the fire extinguished by an ambulance driving over your head? Yeah, this is a definite death. Being decapitated by a bear bite, definite death. Taking the wrong dose of medication in the hospital, and flatlining. Evidently, it's a definite death. Same scenario with the piranha bite before, so potential survival. Having 2 live appliances fall into your bathing water, electrocuting you. Yeah, if one appliance has a really high chance of killing you, then 2 will definitely do the trick. So, definite death. A house fire due to poor electrical engineering skills. The bean itself is shown being engulfed in flames as he hits the floor moments before the whole screen is taken by the flames. I don't think he made it, unfortunate. Definite death. Crashing a plane into a cactus the size of the tree. Crashing a plane into a cactus the size of a tree. The sudden deceleration of the plane would almost certainly kill the pilot instantly, so definite death. Again, eating rotten food such as a banana would be really painful to deal with, but it wouldn't kill you, so not fatal. Once again, the psycho is out to get us. Nothing new here, definite death. Here, we have a continuation of the trash bag man lore, where he gets hit by a car while trying to escape. Taking this as a new scenario, it's hard to gauge how fast he's running and how fast the car is going, but for him to even have a chance of outrunning the car, let's assume they're both going at around 10 kilometers per hour, especially considering the guy in the trash bag is likely to not be able to see very well and so won't be running at full speed. With this, the risk is minimized. It's not a guarantee he'll survive, but it's not as lethal. Potential survival. Being crushed by asteroids, definite death. Once again, the washing machine incident. There's no water inside, so same logic as before applies. Potential survival. Snake bite to the eye, probably venomous, so definite death. The bean here is missing all his organs. Heart, lungs, kidneys have all been removed. How he has time to look at himself in the mirror before dying is impressive though, I'll give him that. Definite death. Consuming a squirt of superglue isn't really lethal. The bean has the time to change expression into a sad look, so her airways aren't blocked. Although it might cause stomach pain and much discomfort, she'll be okay. Not fatal. The second time we see a nuclear blast, who keeps giving this guy this job? Definite death. Once again, the bean is shot in the woods by a sniper bullet multiple times. No healthcare, and bro is just accepting it at this point, so yeah, he's not even trying to survive. Definite death. In this one, the bean disturbs a wasp's nest once again, but we're shown that almost instantly after being stung, he seemingly passes out. In this scenario, it might give us information on him either having a severe allergic reaction or venom-induced shock from the stings. Therefore, this makes survival for him in this context much less likely, because he's so close to the nest and the wasps are already on him and perceive him as a threat, since this time he was playing with their hive and not just nearby. So I'm gonna have to rule this one as a definite death. Hit by a train at full speed. Definite death. Remember to look both ways, guys. Hit by a train at full speed while in a car. Although it looks like the train slows down, the implication of a train crossing means it's going at full speed. So definite death. Once again, hit by a train, so definite death. Anyway, thank you guys for watching so far, and I hope you enjoyed the gore-filled minigames being explained to you with unnecessarily meticulous detail. Please subscribe if you want to. I mean, I just post random content that I enjoy making. And yeah, enjoy your day, and I hope none of these happen to you in real life.